Hey, good afternoon, everyone. My name is April Brumm, and I am with my friend Travis Lape. We could not be in two culturally different places. I'm down here in Georgia, and he's up there in freezing South Dakota, right? Or no,
Yeah.
South Dakota. Yes.
Okay.
Heavens to Betsy. Um, so we are the one thing that we all have in common this time of year is that most of us know or have graduates, whether they're graduating from college, whether they're graduating from high school. Both of my boys just graduated in the last 2 years. So I have a freshman in college now and a sophomore in college, and praise the Lord, they are both thriving. And one of them literally flew the coop because he's a pilot. And so this is just an example of what I did with my son's graduation invitation. So, of course, the other son was super simple because I just switched out the picture and the name. Didn't even have to mess with the last name, right? And so, what I did on the inside is I just simply made a collage of all the things that made me smile because he could absolutely care less. And if you have boys, you probably will agree with me. And then we have that, and he's at Middle Georgia. And then at the bottom, it simply said, or you can send best wishes to, and then it had his mailing address. On the back, it simply said, thank you for helping us celebrate. And then I asked him to come up with his life verse. Both of my boys have a life verse. Of course, my son was a runner. So his verse was 1 Corinthians 9:24. Do you not know that in a race, all runners run, but only one receives the prize? So run that you may obtain it. So that's what we all want to do, right? We all want to win. So I'm going to send this over to, oh, here's a regular one. Just very, very simple. Just a picture, pictures, and then on the back where he's going. So that was super cool and simple. But I'm going to turn it over to Travis because he is going to share his screen and prepare to be dazzled. So there you go. Have at it, Travis.
Hey, thanks, April. So this has been fun. I put out on Facebook just probably about a month ago, just trying to take stress off parents. Graduation can be stressful just with kids getting everything accomplished in high school, wrapping up their senior year, and then graduation and the party and all of that that comes with it, and then the announcements. So I put out on Facebook, I would design and free of charge, no cost to it, graduation announcements. Sometimes families would bring me something that they had found online and said, hey, I'd like to see, something similar to this. And so I would try to recreate that or try to dabble in different things. And as this has gone on, more questions, more requests have come in. And so I started sharing those with April, and April's like, these are awesome. Maybe we need to talk about how you're doing that. And so I use Canva. It makes me look really smart, and it's super easy to use. And so I just have a few designs here, and then I'm just going to show you real quick how I manipulate this to find out which ones I want the best. So usually I start with their templates, and that's where I begin. I start here and I'll look through. When I'm looking through this, I'm looking at pictures, layouts, and fonts. Pictures, layouts, and fonts, because I can manipulate all of this into my own design. So if I find a font on a card that I'm like, ooh, I really like that font, I open that up, then I come back to the templates and I start looking again. So again, I find a different one. So this one's a pretty simple design, but I liked some aspects of this. So I'm like, okay, maybe this is the one I want. So I can click in there. What I like about it is then sometimes it gives me different templates with inside that. So now I could see, oh, I like this front and I like this back. And that's what I want on my back of my card. So now I can manipulate both of those and merge those together into one card. So that's what I like about Canva, is the ability to easily use this. And that's what I started offering the families was just a simple piece of that. And then it grew to kind of some bigger designs. So I'm going to show you some of the designs that I've done. And then I'll show you kind of how I've done some different things. So this one is just a pretty simple one. It's got two different fonts. It's got some pictures of their senior, and then on the back. And what I love about SendOutCards and the ability for me is sometimes you can go to different programs and you can design your card, but then you gotta decide, okay, how many cards do I want? 50, 100, 200, and I hit print, all with hopes that the font is right, The spacing is correct, and it's going to show up with that many cards the way I want it to look. What I can do with SendOutCards is I can send this as a sample to a family to make sure it's the way they want it to look and feel before they decide how many they're going to order, which is awesome that I have that ability to help them out with that, because I know when I'm ordering things, if I can't see or touch it first, I get really nervous of ordering a ton of them. Just another design, another layout for families. And so there's tons of different ways to do this. And this is one that I took right from the templates, and then I layered some different things. This is just a picture. I changed the transparency so it would sit behind nice. And then as we go, like this is one of my favorite ones, and I think it's just the color of this one, how grad and then the color of this professional picture kind of goes together. But then you can brand it with their school colors. You can take out things. So again, just the flexibility of Canva and getting those designs. This one was probably one that I took a little risk on. She's a golfer, going to go play golf in college. And so I thought, you know what, I'm going to play with this a little bit, and made one where now it's all focused on golf. And I sent it to them with really just concerned that maybe this might not turn out the best. But they responded, they're like, she loves this. I'm like, oh, this will be a fun card. So like the front of her card looks really professional and there, and then her back is going to be this little golf.
That is really cool.
Of one. So again, it's taking the seniors' interest and trying to incorporate it into a design. Another one here, just some different layouts of the front. This one I took 3 pictures, and this is just a white rectangular box behind there. And so I just made that, but it looks like it's all framed and supposed to be that way. And then on the bottom, a couple different ways. So a more traditional way of a back, or he's a baseball player. And so I did this. Now, what's cool about Canva is like this picture right here looks a little weird like this. What Canva can do is it can immediately remove a background. So maybe I don't want the background. I just want his senior picture. I click that little button there, and now the background's going to be removed, and I can manipulate his picture onto the screen. So again, when I'm able to share these with families and parents, the nice thing there is they can decide how they want this to look. And so it removes the background, and I can now position him wherever I want. I can shrink it. So again, it just gives you some flexibility of like really making that card unique and special for that senior. Then I got a pair of twins, and they wanted something done because they didn't want 2 different invites. Again, that runs the cost up. With SendOutCards, I have the ability of really getting a 3-panel card. And so I call those our party cards. So I took that and I designed a 3-panel card for them and gave 2 panels to the boy, because as April said, boys were like, it was no big deal. The girl really wanted her pictures and wanted
the boys are over here going, send the check.
Yep. Yep. And so I had seen how to put pictures in letters, but the way Canva has them, they're not very nice. So if I go in here, I'll show you like an example. So this little cloud piece gets cut out. So when you go to put a picture in there, their face almost gets cut out. So I couldn't do that. So what I did is I designed a card the way I wanted it to look. So just like this, and I downloaded it. And because I'm on a Mac, this is where, if somebody's watching this and they want this card layout, just reach out to me. I'll quickly make the layout and send it to you. That's not a problem. But what's nice about this is the ability then, because I'm on a Mac, I can erase these middle pieces of this card. And so that gray now becomes transparent. So basically what I'm doing is I'm just making these numbers transparent. So now that I've got the card made and it's ready to go, I can now drag this back into back into Canva, and I can now bring it into my design because those numbers are transparent. Here's the picture layout from behind. So when I bring this on, and because I made it in Canva to begin with, it's already in the right form. It's already a 5x7. Oops, let me detach from the back. And I can now drag that right on top of that.
Oh, that's cool. And then you just adjust the pictures behind it.
So you just kind of work through that to do to have it lay out the certain way that you want it for your pictures. And then that's how I laid out the grad. So you can do it with numbers, you can do it with letters. So again, build the card on your 5x7 or 7x5 layout, put in all the things, then download it out of Canva as a PNG, and then you can manipulate those letters, erase those, and then bring it back in and layer it right on top of your pictures. And that's really how I did this, because there their pictures are, and there's the
Super cool. That
and so
is super cool.
you can personalize those cards pretty quickly for families. And the nice thing is that once you get the panels already made, now making the invite inside SendOutCards
sure.
is easy.
Right. That is so awesome. All right, I'm going to share my screen and go over the packages that are available with SendOutCards. And again, if you're finding this video on YouTube, if you just ran across this video on Facebook, reach out to whoever shared this with you, or you can reach out to Travis or me or anybody else who has ever said to you, hey, SendOutCards is cool. Find that person. And if anybody has sent you a SendOut card, do that. But definitely, because it's easy for us to be able to send you a really quick link, and then your first card is free. You get to try this out, even if this is all you ever do with it. But here's the cool thing. My kids, we sent out approximately 250 graduation invitations, and we did it, you know, for the graduating class of last year and the year before. Well, that also means that many thank you notes gets to go out. And the kids are like, oh, like poke me in the eye to make me send out a thank you note, right? So you can buy however many card credits you need. And for the first three, 100, 250, and 500 here, you have 6 months to use these card credits. And then for the 1,000 and 2,000, you have 1 year to use those card credits. Now let's think forward to graduation. That's what we're talking about today. But then you have thank you notes. Then you have Christmas. Then you have Thanksgiving. What are you going to send this year that you could maybe get some really deep discounts going ahead and doing that, right? What if you, like me, had a graduate and then another graduate next year? If I bought the card credits now, I could also use them for 12 months from now for next year's graduation, right? So that would be so super smart. So these are the prices that you can see really quick. If you want to just take a screenshot, that's totally fine. Travis or myself could show you. But before we jump off, I'm just going to show you really quick. If you go to SendOutCards.com, if you already have an account, if you don't, you can start your own. Type in Travis Lape, L-A-P-E, to say who showed me this, or April Brumm, B-R-U-M-M, or anyone who brought you to this video, because there is enough to go around, y'all. So if I type in 2023, look, here's all of the graduation invitations that are already here. If you're not a Canva person and you're not feeling it and you're just like, you know what, I just need to slap a picture on this bad boy and be done, that's fine too, because these designs are amazing. And the cool thing is, when you go and do this, let me show you at checkout. So let's just say we're going to do a 2-panel and next and go to the current editor. And I'm going to get to the checkout screen, and I'm going to show you how simple it is to change the paper type. So one thing that we have is 3 different types of paper. Look right here where it says, I'm going to make my screen bigger. Standard is this, standard and satin and pearl. The pearl finish is more of a shimmery kind of finish. The satin finish is matte finish, and the standard finish is this sort of shiny like cardstock kind of finish. Okay, so that sort of helps you with that too. And it is so simple to do this, y'all. And my sons, I'll just show you really quick and then we'll be done. My sons sent out thank you notes that I had designed for them. The thank you notes simply said, thank you on the front with the graduate. And then on the back of the card, it just said, thank you so much for your generosity. Here's what I'm planning to do. So excited about this. Thanks for praying for me and thanks for helping support me. That is it. It didn't have anything that he had to do or write or anything. So happy that you guys joined us today. Thank you so much. I hope we wrap this up quickly. And the possibilities truly are endless. And you will spend less money, less time, and less aggravation using SendOutCards. And I think you're going to love it because you really can get this done. It's going to make your life so much easier.